Okay, so at this point, we have everything laid out. So we have a general rough cut of the entire wedding, and shooting solo, it came to just under an hour and a half. But I've got these multicam sequences, so that's what I'm going to work on next in my process. I just go through chronologically and kind of cut together these. I've already made them into compositions, so I'm just going to go into them and sync everything up, get the best sound, and then just cut it to the best of my ability. So it would be smart to use the multi-cam editing thing, but I don't know, I'm just really quick with this. I shoot for the edit, so everything should be pretty straightforward as far as how to edit this. So I'm sure there might be a better way to do this, but it's just kind of how I do it. So I actually have, yeah, this second camera is rolling long enough to use as my base. So usually I would use my audio as the base, but looks like it's working. Okay, so I just need to start off by getting like a sync point. So I'm going to use the moment they meet. And this is going to be tough because there's really no way to listen to the sound in this clip. So maybe I'll use this, and I definitely know that the beginning of this isn't being used, so I can just cut that off real quick. And I'm just going to raise this just so I can see the waveform a little easier. Okay, that's not the correct first look. Alright, so it seems as though that audio file is not the one that I need to be using.
That's so great.
Okay, so this is the audio file. It seems as though there's a lot of audio that I don't think I have. Let's just double check that. So I have an audio file folder in my structure here, and I don't really get, Final Cut's structure as far as these projects and everything and these events versus the library. Because I would much rather just have this library with everything that I need. I don't need these events. I broke it up into project video audio, but in all honesty, I would like to get rid of these and just have this with everything, just so that, I could be in this audio, but I accidentally may have put an audio source in here. It just, I don't know, it's like unnecessary structuring. So I know that this is not, that's wrong. I imported incorrectly.
What is love?
All those conversations that were held writing in a...
I don't think any of these are right. I'm just gonna delete all of this and re-import this audio here. I've never done this before, this is weird. So it's a simple, I just go to my media assets and then import all of these audio files. So I'm gonna copy. I don't need to compress anything, it's audio files. It's all good to go. This is the first time I've ever imported the wrong wedding audio folder, which is weird. It's really no problem, but it's just odd, what happened at that point. Final Cut. Come on. Well, computer's being a little slow today. Okay, so we have the audio files, and it's gonna do its thing, but technically I should want just this for what I'm doing right here. So let's just lay that. Option S to do soloing. So let's just listen to this a little bit. Yeah, the wind is gonna be a problem, but we'll see. I'll try to make it work.
Maybe we'll just have her, what do you think, turn the corner?
A bit different than what you're doing, so
So I think that's the end. This is when I turn it off, so at that point, you know, as far as syncing, the end of my audio file should be right there. I want to get some waveform, but Final Cut is kind of doing its thing.
I don't know.
I don't think we are. Alright. Wow, that's a really nice page.
Thanks. It matches you.
That's good. Alright, give me some waveform, first look file. Come on now. Come on, come on. Well, while we're waiting for that, we can kind of just sync this up. So this is right when she comes down. So I'm just going to mark that as he starts to turn around. Look at that stance, bam. So right there. So that should be pretty synced up. Jeez. Super crazy loud.
So great.
Alright, well, we can kind of see their mouths moving a little bit there. Maybe we'll be able to push this together, sync it up by sound.
Great. So great. So great.
I'm like, alright, there. Now we have the waveform, that's good, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Final Cut. Alright, so this is when he talks. And this is going to be difficult. This is going to be difficult. I think that's like right there.
So great.
No.
We're not.
I don't know.
I don't think we are. Wow, that's a really nice You ready?
Yeah,
You okay now? I'm nervous. I'm ready to go. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, let's start it.
Alright, what is it?
This is tough, I can't read their lips. Yeah, this is definitely has to be like up here. Like right here. Too much.
So great. Hey, you look so great.
Thank you.
Are we on pick right now?
No.
We're not?
I don't know.
I don't think we are. Alright. Wow, that's a really nice page.
Thanks. It matches yours.
Okay, so this is like crazy.
Wow, that's a really nice page.
Usually I have like some kind of sound from these clips so that I can match it a bit, but I don't.
Right. Wow, that's a really nice bouquet.
Thanks. It matches yours.
This is tough.
All right. Wow, that's a really nice bouquet.
Nice, getting there. Sync.
All right. Wow, that's a really nice bouquet.
So now it's just like, it's like an episode of YouTube's like bad lip reading. I'm trying to just match.
Wow, that's a really nice bouquet.
Thanks. It matches yours.
Just so that it looks right, it has to feel right.
Wow, that's a really nice bouquet.
Thanks. It matches yours.
Oh my gosh. Look really good.
If I could hear anything in these, that would help. It matches yours. So I guess that's my key. So I just put a mark there.
All right. Wow, that's a really nice bouquet.
Thanks. It matches yours.
So that's like right
It
there.
matches yours.
I don't think there's much more I could do. Let's just cut that.
All right. Wow, that's a really nice bouquet.
Thanks. It matches yours.
Oh my gosh. Look really good.
Thank
You
you.
ready?
Yeah.
To
Are
go
you
right now?
nervous?
I'm nervous. I'm ready for it.
How come you're nervous?
I mean, we're about to be in front of
Yeah.
it. But I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Good, I'm glad.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's start it.
All right. So where do we go now?
I don't know.
Do you have pictures? More pictures?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. We'll go with this. All right, so let's cut the beginning and end off to something that makes sense. You know, get rid of me running around, for sure. And her. I think we'll probably start it right here. You know, makes sense. All of this, you know, I left all of this because I can, you know. It's easy to cut it in post, and I didn't want to have to press record on that, you know, at any point where I should be doing things, so.
I like your note.
So I don't think any of this is necessary. I kind of forgot about it. Or I was dealing with other stuff, like getting the audio off of him, so I think we can cut this much earlier.
Good, I'm glad.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's start it.
All right. So where do we?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's start it.
All right.
Boom, right there, done. So cutting it down, Trim the fat. What is this? Just a little bit extra right there. So the audio, you know, it's matches what's going on with the wind, you know, you can see the wind, so now I'm just going to cut out the parts of me moving,
Yeah.
for sure, to start, you know. And then I'll make creative decisions on what I want to show as far as the two angles. So I just have to get rid of the stuff I have to get rid of, and then I'll keep what I want, you know. So obviously that, I'm still settling, and then focus.
We're about to be in front of it.
Yeah.
It's tough. I'm in my shot. I should have had like a 70 to 200, but I think I had like 100 millimeter on this. And you can see that my Rode VideoMic Pro is in the red. Oh, first looks. All right.
so great.
Thank you.
Well,
Are we on pick right now?
No.
We're not?
well, that angle was screwed. Maybe, you know, I will take responsibility for that bad angle. It is pretty, but, you know, maybe our photographer should have had a longer lens. And I think I'm in the same boat. I think if we both had 70-200s, we'd be doing a much better job of helping each other out and getting the shots that we needed. You know, I am for sure in my shot when I shouldn't have been.
Hey, you look so great.
Thank you.
Are we on pick right now?
No.
We're not?
I don't know.
Are we on pick right now?
No.
Are we allowed to kiss right now? No. No.
Hey.
So I need to figure out some way of getting rid of this. I would have loved to have, you know, a couple more seconds of this, but the photographer just goes straight in my way, so I gotta get rid of it. Straight out. So I'm gonna cut right there.
Are we on pick right now?
No.
We're not?
I don't know.
You look really good.
Thank
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you okay now? I'm nervous. I'm ready for it.
I have to cut all of that.
I mean, we're about to be Untitled.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Good, I'm glad. You look really good.
Thank
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you okay now? I'm nervous. I'm ready for it. You look really good.
So I'm just gonna cut that there. And then cut straight to this.
But I'm excited.
Yeah.
Kinda sucks.
I mean, we're about to be Untitled.
Yeah.
But none of that works.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Okay, so I think this is what I'm gonna end up with. Maybe I'll do one more cut here. I think I want to cut to right here. Start with this wide and then go in. See him standing there. Cut to her walking.
Hey.
Might cut that early.
Hey. Are we on pick right now? Are we on pick right now?
No.
We're not?
I don't know.
Maybe there's something I can do with the digital zoom here. No, she goes right in the way. I just need a couple more seconds. I guess I could go to there and then just crop it.
You look so...
Let's just see if this works. So what I'm gonna do is crop that. First I'm gonna zoom out a little bit.
You look so great. Yeah.
You know, this might be easier if I just crop it first. So I'll put that back to 100. I'm gonna crop the left to the, you know, I just can't use any of the photographer. So I just know that. So I'll just make this work. This is just like an easier way to do this, I guess. I'll push that in. I will raise this up. I will bring this over. Oh, shit. I'll bring this over and I gotta crop. I gotta scale it a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So we're scaling it We're digitally pushing in about 150%, 144.
You look so great. Are you on pick right now? Hey. You look so great. Are you on pick right now?
No.
Or not?
It's not the best, but I think it's worth it. We'll add it. At least for the doc edit. Probably not for the highlight though. It just needed a couple more seconds of that hug, you know, and the dialogue is good, so why not? Alright, Final Cut, do your thing. Come on, check them out. What are you doing, transcoding? You're analyzing audio, do it. Don't stop. Alright, well, we'll let it do its thing. And I'm going to do just a little bit of crossfading just to help. Can do it on both of these. Oh, oh God. Well, that's sneeze number one. Okay, so once I pull back out of that, we'll zoom in just to this sequence. And the one thing you have to remember after doing that is to trim the sequence down, because even if you cut, you know, all that stuff short, Final Cut's gonna leave all this blank space, T-Swift, at the end. So you kind of have to just creep back frame by frame until you can trim it down, because no one wants any black frames in their wedding film. So we went from like 3 minutes down to 30 seconds for that first look. And of course, I'll adjust the composition of it when I export in this aspect ratio. And color correction and all that stuff I'll do later, you know.
That's so great. Are you on pick right now?
No.
Or not?
It's kind of amazing how different the 6D looks compared to the EOS. I can match them when I color correct, but for now it's fun. So at least I have a couple more like normal shots
Get in there.
before and after.
Get in there. Yeah.
So that's good.
Come on.
Awesome.
So that'll help the first look sequence, but this is like, you know, the multicam sequence part of it. Cool, so I'll zoom out and let's see what else. Okay, so the next sequence is the ceremony. We'll zoom in here, and this one is a little bit more formidable, but in all honesty, I had 2 cameras rolling with, I think, the wrong audio.
The bride and groom.
Yeah, that's not right. That's insane. All right, bye. 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 Why ain't you buying? Final Cut is on fleck right now. Don't crash. Don't crash. We got the spinning wheel of death. No. Final Cut. You bitch. Yeah, this usually does not happen, but it's just because I'm recording the screen right now, and it's more resolution than HD, full HD, so it's quite taxing. You can probably hear the fan on my computer right now. All right, let's do this. Everything, you know, the autosave was all good, so thanks, autosave. Can I go back out? How do I... Usually this is illuminated, but it isn't right now, so we'll go back out this way. All right, so you notice, you know, it leaves the gap whatever amount that I got rid of. So, okay, let's get rid of these. Yes, 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 yes. All right, let's listen to this real quick.
As a sign of my love for you.
So that's
In the past,
efficient.
I've just
That's nothing.
built your, to know that you are Mrs. Conrad Saxton.
Okay, so that's the groom. And
Skies are only ceiling. For as much as Chuck.
so that's like a ceremony texture. All right, I'm gonna put these down because I think these are the only ones that I'm going to use. All right. If I need this, you know, this was like a Zoom H1 just kind of in the back. I might use that for clapping, maybe music. We'll see if I need it. But at this moment, I'm just going to cut with this. Okay. So let's see if there's a gap between these two.
I, Conrad, take you, Chelsea, as my beloved, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer,
Okay, so there isn't. So that's okay. So this is going to be my base because it's my back cam. I want to use this as least as possible, or I don't know, technically I guess. But it's just much easier to edit with the camera that you want to use on top, just because it means less editing, so it makes it easier to edit. So I'm gonna set up my ceremony sequence like this, and then I'm just gonna start to sync up. And I know for a fact that these line up around here because I can see that very easily. And I'm going to just trim these audio sources down a bit. I know that that lines up there. And what happened with this?
stand before God in this company, and have pledged their love.
All right, so something's going on there, but I believe that goes around right there. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of these for the time being. What does this sound like? What is this? All right, so that's extra. We're probably going to start shooting. I think that's grandma. We're definitely going to start shooting, or start cutting around here, so. I can just push this beginning. It's good to, you know, that's the first thing you do. You just get the in and out point for the actual sequence.
This time, Mr. and Mrs.
Okay. Just want to double check to see if I have other footage that could link into this sequence of the ceremony. Like the people leaving and stuff. Where is the ceremony? There's the first look. There's details. Oh. Right here. Okay. Okay, so it was like a tight space, so I had to get my stuff out of there, so that's why I kind of like cut short with the filming here. I usually film like people leaving. I wish my second camera was rolling. That would have been an easy way to get that footage, but I think I just had to get it out of there just because it was kind of in the way of people. So that's perfectly fine. All right, I'm just gonna start syncing up and just look at some very distinct spots where I can sync. And I need these to be a little, I need wiggle room. All right, I'm gonna select both of these, Command S,
Chelsea and Conrad, you are entering a relationship.
All right, so I need to move these a little bit. It has to sound perfect.
Chelsea and Conrad, you are entering a covenant.
That's good. Nailed it. All right, so now we're going to do that with all of these. Come on. Okay. Command AS. Let's go right here. I'm just going to raise these so I can see it.
We meet here in nature to affirm our love. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, love has been your richest and greatest gift to the world. Love between a man and Heavenly Father.
So Heavenly Father right here. So I probably should have moved these, but I'm just going to move both of these. Yeah, okay. I believe that right there is it.
This gift to the world. Love between a man and a woman, which mature.
Yep, that's good. Cool, cool, cool. Let's just go right here. Raise this up so I can see it. I'm pretty sure that just lines up right there.
Rings. I therefore pronounce that they are husband and wife in the name. I therefore pronounce.
It's like a puzzle.
Conrad silence.
And everything is synced up. So now I'm just going to kill this.
Mark 10, verses 6 through 9.
And I'm probably just going to use these two audio sources and then maybe the atmosphere. So let's just drop the atmosphere just so I can see and sound what that is doing. You know, maybe because it seems like there's a bit of music and stuff. Yeah, I totally rolled forever on this. So go waveform, go. Go waveform, go waveform, go waveform, go waveform. Okay, we got clapping right here.
You may now kiss the bride.
You may now kiss the bird. You may now kiss your bird. Cool beans. Let's go right here. I'll sync this up real nice. This is a good spot right here to sync up art, yeah.
I therefore.
Good, done. Simple. Alright, so now let's extend all of this shits so that we got a full plate. Our audio ends right there, so we're gonna pull it all the way to the end. I would like to listen to what this is like.
Now for the expression of intent.
It's rumbly. So other than that sound right there, oh, there's like an audio level change. I think I had auto. Ugh. I should have just kept it on one level. Rumbles. Ugh. It could just be moving it or someone, I don't know where, I can't remember where this was. I think it was over by the musicians. Okay, you know, that sounds really good for the music. I'm just going to start doing some audio enhancements on these.
Father, love has been your.
Alright, so this needs to be brought up considerably. So the one thing I do like about Final Cut is that they do have some really good options for cleaning up and fixing audio pretty well. So this helps to normalize, you know, it's like, but we're just gonna do that. Help to normalize the audio levels, so that's like bringing down the highs and bringing up the lows, just so it's a little more consistent. And then we're just going to raise this up so that we're trying to get close to hitting 0.
Richest and greatest gift to the world. Love between a man and a woman, which matures into marriage, is one of your most beautiful types of loves. And that commitment seriously. Through numerous premarital counseling sessions over the past several months, I've gotten to know both Conrad and Chelsea personally, and they are truly delightful people.
Okay, so as far as levels, you know, that's working. I'm going to probably fix the EQ a bit, but I just want to double check this now.
Who gives this man and woman to be married? As a sign of my love for you, Chelsea, take this ring.
So these levels are really low. I think this was a Zoom H1 in his pocket. You know, it's just really low. I didn't want to peak, so I think I set it way too low. It's a very delicate balance. Okay. Let's normalize it a bit. Go waveform. Okay, now we'll bring this up. What does this sound like?
And Conrad, please repeat after me. Chelsea, take this ring.
Chelsea, take this ring.
As a sign of my love for you.
As a sign of my love for you.
And the vows I've just spoken.
And the vows I've just spoken.
Oh, so this is the officiant, and this is Conrad, the groom.
And Conrad, please repeat after me. Chelsea, take this ring.
Chelsea, take this ring.
As a sign of my love for you.
As a sign of my love for you.
And the vows I've just spoken.
And the vows I've just spoken.
Okay, so that's pretty good. So let's just mark that because that's where I want to use this audio.
Conrad, take this ring.
Conrad, take this.
I want to use that as well.
What pledge?
Let's just look for any other spots where these two are talking rather than the officiant.
For better or for worse?
We
do. Choose to marry. Do you, Chelsea Marie, choose to marry Conrad Silas, to speak the words that will join you with him as your husband for all eternity before God, and all your family and friends?
I do.
Okay.
Join you with her as your wife and all your family and friends.
I do.
I think that should be it
Relationship
until
with
the end.
God, both marriage. Surround
Well,
your wedding day
probably
as you
rings.
promise tears of sorrow, and tears, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness. Chelsea and lastly, these are the Chelsea, take this ring.
Okay, so that's rings. So they did vows. Right here, rings.
Conrad, you are entering a covenant. Themselves to one partnership is to the rest of the lies through the poor and all that you want. Grains of what God has joined together.
Okay, so now let's just make sure that we get everything back here.
Let no man put asunder. Just as Chelsea and Conrad have consented together in hope, I therefore pronounce that they are husband and wife in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. You may now kiss the bride. To introduce to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Conrad Saxton.
Okay, so that's it. So I know that I'm only going to use this audio. Well, hold on. Let's just listen to what this. No, I don't want to use that. So I'm going to, well, let's double check when he first sees her. Right here.
You may be seated. Conrad and Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't see anything. All right, so I'm just going to pull this because I know I'm just using the audio in this part for that track. Okay. Ooh, it's cold in here. It's like, okay, so everything else. Yeah, I definitely want to use the atmosphere for this music, but it's just this bass. I'm gonna have to do a lot of normalizing. I wish this was clean. I don't know. Can I play with the... Alright, fine. Let's just normalize it real quick. I think I could play with the EQ a bit. Alright, well, first I'm going to let Final Cut do its analysis. It just takes a couple seconds. And normalize it. And I'll probably bring the levels down because I don't want the sound to be overwhelming. And then I'll probably mess with the EQ so I can get a better sound, and then normalize individual levels with the keyframes for any trouble areas. We'll see what this does. And let's just bring it down just for the time being. Way down.
And have witnessed the same before saints and wife in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. You may now kiss the bride.
Alright, well I'll probably use this right here for it, and then I'll use this whole beginning. So that definitely helped with the difference in levels. I can already see that, you know. Alright, now let's go to the EQ and let's see if we can get rid of that crazy rumble. I don't know. I believe I'm just going to have to roll with it. Okay. Does the music play anywhere else? Wish they had music here. Alright, so now I'm just going to set the keyframing. It's right here. Okay. So hold down Option and set these keyframes here. And then I'm going to set over here before I change the level.
You may now kiss the bride.
Right here. So this will go up.
Mr. and Miss introduce to you, distinct honor to introduce to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Conrad Saxby.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring it down so I can hear his voice, bring that up. Cool. Alright, so now I can change the levels all the way down there and then down there. Okay, so that track should be good now. So now I'm going to do the officiant next. So I'm going to highlight that. I know that I'm not going to be using it at the beginning, so I can cut all of that right there. So now I am going to double check the levels.
Your richest and greatest gift to the world. Love between a man and a woman, which matures into marriage, is one of your most beautiful types of loves.
That sounds good to me. All right. So now I'm going to kind of match this other keyframe here and bring that up. So what that sounds like is...
As you look behind me,
seamless transition you don't even realize. All right.
woman in marriage.
Her mother and I.
There, verses 6 through 9.
At the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. And would leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. And the two would be.
Thank you, Kate. Now for the expression of intent.
Okay, so there isn't much I could do. I didn't, I didn't mic her up.
6 through 9.
So just for the sake of hearing, I'm going to switch to the R tool.
Creation,
So right here, mark.
God has joined together, let no one separate.
And then right here. So I'm just going to take this range right here. And I can't do it anymore. Damn. Alright, that's just going to have to be. That's alright.
Do you, Chelsea Marie, surety before God in all your family and friends?
I do.
Family and friends.
I do.
Alright, we're just going to do a really quick little audio crossfade here. No one's even going to notice, just to get a stronger I do on that. So this actually goes all the way down. This goes, I want there to be a little bit of a shelf. So that'll go down, bring that a little closer. All right, let's find the other part.
Family and friends.
I do.
Right there, same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this goes down. This goes down. Cool. So what that sounds like is...
God in all your family and friends.
I do.
And do you, Conrad Silas, choose to marry Chelsea Marie, to speak the words that will join you with her as your wife for all eternity before God, in all your family and friends?
I do.
You don't even realize it, but that helps so much, It makes a big difference if you can hear what the bride and groom are saying.
To love and to cherish.
To love.
I pledge you my faith.
Okay.
Repeat after me.
So we got vows here.
I, Chelsea,
I, Chelsea,
take you, Conrad,
So this would be a lot of back and forth. So to make this easier, I'm just going to pull the audio to Conrad.
for richer or for poor,
for Rick,
to love, and thereto I pledge you after me. I do my faith. What pledge do you offer in symbol of these vows?
our ring,
Our rings.
Where are they?
So, back. Give me this back. Okay, so at this moment, we're gonna go totally back to the officiant, I believe, right? Let's just double check.
Chelsea, repeat after me.
Fuck, no.
Conrad, take this ring
Conrad, take this ring
as a sign of my love for you.
as a sign of my love for you.
And Conrad,
So this whole thing.
I've just spoken.
And the vows I've just spoken.
Okay. So now this will be an audio crossfade. That will go all the way down. This whole thing is going to be up.
Who gives this man and woman to be married?
We do.
We do. Repeat after me.
So right here is where it'll switch. So here to here. This goes down. But we're just going to leave that for now because I need to get the other side of that. This will go down. And then it will remain up the entire time. Yep. Okay, so the audio crossfade will be right here. So now I know that this goes down. I really like this. It's kind of like a puzzle. It's crazy, but I like it.
Repeat after me. I, Chelsea,
I, Chelsea,
take you, Conrad,
take you, Conrad,
as my beloved husband.
as
Cool, that looks good. All right, let's move on. All of this is,
Please join hands. Young and full of love for you. Promise to stick for you. Here's a link. A golden age touch.
it's all good. All right, so now let's just fix this audio at the ending. So now this audio would be fine, but it's just overpowering at points.
It is now my distinct honor to introduce to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs.
So I think I had a Sennheiser on him, so the audio cuts.
Mrs.
So what I'm going to do is gradually change. Fuck. I'm gonna delete these keyframes. Delete all these keyframes. I wanna see, this is like weird, so I gotta pull back. So this will go down. And then I also want to change the levels on this to this point. Okay.
It is now my distinct honor to introduce to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Conrad Saxby.
I wish I had a couple more seconds with this, but there's really nothing I can do about this Sennheiser problem. So there's like a weird audio thing here, so I'm just gonna bring that up to help offset that. Do a little more. Okay, so that should be good for the audio. Okay, so all three of those tracks are all set well. I'm just going to pull them together just so I can see, and then if I need to normalize from there, you know, I could do one more pass technically, but I just like to keep things very clean. So I'm not going to be cutting this audio up in any way. while I'm, cutting the video for the ceremony. But I know everything is synced. I've got my 3 tracks here, and really I'm just gonna leave this bottom track because, that's the safe shot and it'll always have something. There might be a problem here just because of this mess up with this guy in the front. So I might have to do some actual cuts with everything in the sequence at that point, but everything else should just be making holes in this top layer, just to do the back and forth cutting. But yeah, so that'll be the next video. Thank you for watching this very long series of all of the editing that goes into cutting this solo wedding. So if you are watching this entire thing, like, you get a gold star. So leave a comment below if you are at this point. Thank you so much. Take care.